Assalamualaikum and hello to everyone. So in this tutorial video, we will try to finish filling in our cooling load estimation table for our example. So this is the last part, part 3. So we have filled in for part 1 solar heat gain, for part 2 transmission heat gain and also internal heat gain and outside air sensible. So the next section, so for part 3 we will fill in the room latent heat, outside air latent, and finally outside air heat, both sensible and latent. So for room latent heat, the number of person is based on our space characteristic. So we know that the number of person is 50. The next we have to look in table 10 and we have to read for the latent heat factor. So looking at table 10 here. So table 10 here. Same application. Office. Same degree of activity for office worker. Under typical of Malaysia, we will read the latent value. So here the value is 205. So back to our table. We fill in 205 and we can calculate the total here, 10,250. So for equipment, we can neglect. So we can just put a dash. And also at the total here, we can put a dash here. So for total E, since we only have the room latent heat for people, so we just write it back to 10,250. We calculate 10% safety factor, so 1025. And then we add E, our section E total, plus with number 4, our safety factor, so we can get 11,275. Next is for outside air latent. So CFM is our highest CFM like before, 1056.3. Like before here, outside air here. So outside air CFM is the highest CFM. For delta grains per pound, our specific humidity. So referring to our psychometric analysis table, for grains per pound, the delta is 64. So we fill in the value for 64. Alright, for bypass factor is the same before, 0.2. Then we multiply with the conversion factor and we can get the total here. So the total here is 9,337.7. Next is to calculate for total effective room latent heat. Number 2 here. So number 5 plus number 6. So number 5 just now is this one. We can highlight it. So both these numbers, number 5 and number 6, we add them up and we can get the total 20,612.7. Next is to calculate the total for number 1 plus number 2. To get the effective room total heat, ERTH. So number 1 just now was the total effective room sensible heat, ERSH. So this is number 1, our total here, 185,345.1. For number 2, our total here is 20,612.7. So both of these values, we will add them up to get our effective room total heat, ERTH. So the answer here is 205,956.8. So this is our effective room total heat, ERTH. And finally, for outside air heat, for sensible and latent, so CFM is the same, 1,056.3. For delta Fahrenheit, our temperature, we have used 17. So 17 times with our 1 minus bypass factor. So bypass factor was 0.2. Times with 1.09, our conversion factor. So we can get the answer here, 15,658.6. Next, our latent CFM is the same, 1056.3. For delta grains per pound, 64. And then times with 1 minus bypass factor. Same, bypass factor is 0.2. Times with 0.68, our conversion factor. So we can get the total here, 36,776.1. Next, we calculate for the total for section F. So both these values, our sensible and latent, we add them up to get our total for section F. So we add them up, we can get 53,434.7. Okay, so this one we can highlight it. Alright. So finally, we have to calculate the grand total heat, GTH. So 1 plus 2 plus F. So 1 plus 2 just now was this value here. Okay, this is for 1 plus 2. Okay, so 1 plus 2 plus F. So 205,956.8 plus with 53,434.7. Okay, so we can get our grand total heat of 258,392.5. Okay, so this is our total space heat gain. Okay, so total space heat gain for our office is 250. We can write it here again, 258,000. Okay, 392.5. Okay, the units is BTU per hour. Okay, so BTU. Okay, BTU per hour. Okay, so this is our total space heat gain or grand total heat. Okay, so total space heat gain, which is also as our cooling load estimation. Okay, so this value, okay, so this value here we will refer to the manufacturer's catalog. Okay, maybe Daikin, okay, maybe Samsung, maybe Carrier, okay, any manufacturer company which can provide air conditioning system, we will look at their catalog. Okay, so based on this number, we will choose the most suitable air conditioning equipment for our office. Okay, so that is all for this example. Okay, I will try to give another question for you guys to answer, and then you can ask me whether the values you have chosen, okay, and your calculation is correct. You can ask me later. So thank you for your attention and have a good day.